the quiet guys hardly ever get their accolades, you know. And there were times when he would come home, and my brother KC the third, Dad would talk to him about it, and so he'd win another game, and he'd look in the paper, and they say, yeah, KC Jones did this and that, and he's like, I can't even win right, you know. He would get dogged for winning, or people would say, oh, he had Larry Bird and stuff, so he didn't have to coach anybody. And I was like, if you guys knew what you you still have to coach them. They know what they're doing, but you still have to form them into a team and have, you know, strategy. But I mean, to this day, when the 75 greatest coaches list came out, there were people on Twitter saying he shouldn't be on there. He had Larry Bird. He should never be on that list. And I was like, no matter what,
if that's the case, they should take a lot of the coaches off then.
You got that right.
Got that right. Would be Red Auerbach, rest in peace, my boy Red. Right. It would be Phil Jackson then. If that's the case, let's go down the list of people.
Yeah,
right, Henry.
I got nothing to lose, man. I'm out of basketball, man. So I got nothing to lose, man.
What's up, Martian?
I can tell it the way it is now.
You know?
What's going on, man? Everything good? Hey, Henry, how you doing?
Hey, Henry. He said hi, Henry.
Yeah, hey, nice to see you, man. Nice to see you.
Spino, only Spino can bring everybody out.
Oh, that's right. And not me. Not the younger brother.
Hey,
only older brother, Tony. Yeah. It's all about Tony.
You ducking me. I thought you was going to come out and swing the clubs with me.
I am, man. I'm in the midst of my little man. He's 8 years old. He's got baseball and basketball right now, so he's keeping me going.
Right.
There you go. I got you. That's right.
Hey, Henry, I heard you're going to become the next coach of Maryland.
Ooh, me?
Yeah.
I'm coaching in Mexico, man. I'm coaching the Mexican basketball players. I'm not going back to that other stuff. Come on. I'm going to a place where I can get out of Dodge if I have to, okay?
There you go.
That's it. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, they never hear about me back in Mexico, so I can do what I want to do in Mexico. Now that's
I like that.
For Darrick and Pooh,
like
you guys
that.
can have that stuff, man.
No, man, I've been staying away from basketball since I was retired, man.
You know, it's like some of the other guys here. I can't get it out of my blood. It's in your blood, man. I wrote a book, The Addiction That Drove Me, and you know, it's addiction to this thing.
Yeah.
You know, you look at, you know, I remember years ago, Cotton Fitzsimmons told me I tried to get on his team. He said, "Well, Henry, you're gonna play, you know, 2 good games out of 6." So, you know, and I still wanted to play. I didn't care if I got cut or whatever. I wanted to be in the game. And this is what I've done. And this is why Tony's, you know, has stayed around so long and dealing with Coach Wooden for years and years and years, because he loved the game and loved who he was. It's you don't get this out of your blood, man. To me, you know, just, you know, growing up with nearly, you know, 60 years of basketball every day of your life. Mm-hmm. This is like every day. You don't get this. Me, I don't get it out of my system. It's like every day I watch videos like I'm still coaching, mm-hmm. You know, like an old man living his dream.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Dad was the same. Dad was the exact same.
Yeah. Hey, Henry, what
me
was
it's tough to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Henry, what was playing for Coach Wooden like? Because you did, so.
You know, at 18 and 55 years ago, I can barely remember, man. I'm trying to remember what happened yesterday, you know, right. To remember what happened that long ago. I just know he was a stickler for fundamentals. That was his big thing that I knew more so than anything. You know, how to tie your shoe and all that crap you talk about, tying your shoes and putting on the right socks and how many socks you put on. You know, and the little things, jab, step, crossover, pump fake, get open to receive the ball, all that stuff is what he believed in that, you know, really helped make me, you know, the basketball player and coach I was, because again, I wasn't talented. I was in the right spots at the right time and got the right tutorage that was needed.
Right. Well, yeah. And you guys were a machine. I mean, you guys never lost. I had Jamal on the last time. He was going to come on this time as well, but he had something came up, he said. But he he felt like the same way as like, you know, kind of like KC did. Like he was always the guy behind the stars because he was behind Bill and then he was behind Kareem. But you know, I kind of
I was glad Bill was behind me. I know that. I would probably been playing in the G League if it wasn't for Bill.
That's true.
He saved me. You could gamble and do whatever you wanted to do, and Big Bill was in the back to clean everything up.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
And I told Jamal though, I go, you know what, Jamal, you remember the night when Magic scored the 42 points in Philly, and he started breaking everything down, you know, and I said, well, what player that night had 37 and 9? And he went, that was me. I go, that's right, it was you. You know,
I told him I couldn't believe he was that good. I said, you were good in college. You know, how all of a sudden you become all pro? You know, what happened here? What did I lose? Where did I lose out on? You know, watching him get 37. I was playing that night, and you know, Kareem wasn't playing. So you know that's a victory for us if Kareem is not playing. But you know, it was
right.
It's a different night. Those guys came to play. Darrick, did you ever play for Coach Wood?
No, I'm not that old.
I apologize. Okay.
Yeah, you know, I have.
Pooh is older than me. Pooh is older than me.
And Pooh,
Yeah.
you play for him?
No, I played for Coach Hazard and Coach Harrick.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You know, I
You
was
know,
fortunate.
you know, I'm Philly Sixers through and through, man. I'm Philadelphia
Philly
76ers.
Oh yeah, you Philly guy.
Through,
Yeah,
man.
you Philly guy.
I'm a South Philly guy to be exact too.
Right. You're Philly guy. Yep. Got you out of Philly. Darrick, where's Darrick from? Where are you from, Darrick? You from LA?
Oh yeah, LA, right here in Compton.
Oh yeah, okay.
Compton.
Yeah.
Right down the
Derrick
road.
was my roommate in college. Hey, Henry, Derrick was my roommate in college. He was a freshman when I was a senior, and Spino was in my bed one night. Spino was doing room check. He was doing room check, and I wasn't around. He was in. I get in about 3 in the morning. He laying in my bed.
Covering for you.
I believe we was at Washington when that happened.
He made it work.
Washington State, yeah.
And my man Jim Harrick, Jim. Oh, he had some battles with you, boy.
Henry, how are you, brother?
I love it, man. I love Jim Harrick, boy. Another guy who didn't get his due either, boy. There's some guys who went through this thing who just didn't get their due. Sorry about that, Jim. Maybe in the next lifetime we both will get it, okay?
That's all right. Darrick, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, Coach?
Good, buddy. Jerome,
what's going on? What's going on, Coach? What's happening?
All right, brother. Good to talk to you guys. Good to see you guys, man.
You too.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
You in California still?
Oh, yeah. I live right by the Rose Bowl in La Crescenta.
Oh, that's the place to live, Coach.
Hanging out.
Big money grip. Just right over there hanging out. All the big money people. I want to drive by there one day to see your house.
Just playing a little golf, Darrick. Darrick.
Yeah, nice.
Got to get you up here, Martin, see how your swing is.
It's not bad. I definitely we'll get a chance to play.
All right, we'll do that.
So I see the
right,
basketball.
I got to jump off. I got to coach baseball now. So it was good to see everybody. Spino,
Martin,
50 grand.
Martin, holler at me, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Holler at me.
Darrick, thanks for coming on.
All right.
Darrick, love seeing you, man. It's a long time. And again, I apologize for cutting you. Okay, I have to apologize. Hey, you know, right. Darrick, I've cut a lot of guys, man. And I got a lot of hatred for me out there for guys, you know. But you know something, Darrick?
Still good.
Darrick, I made your career. Because seriously, because after I cut you, you went with Magic, and then you got into the NBA. I gave this boy the drive. You should thank me every day. And
I
don't know if that's the kind of thanks you want.
Thank you, Darrick, for coming on.
So the basketball crew clearly outnumbers the football and the baseball crew. Tony, what's your favorite sport?
Oh, what's my favorite sport?
Oh, yeah.
Without question, baseball. Yeah.
He loves baseball. You hear that, Gary?
Yeah, I see all these basketball players out there. I wanted to remind them that John Wooden's favorite sport was baseball.
Baseball. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Coach
No
Wooden.
way.
I want to say something about Tony, too. You know, in my 30 years of coaching at UCLA, I never got to have Tony be the head trainer from the baseball team until my last year, my 30th year. I finally got to see this guy in action, and he really was the best trainer that I had in all those 30 years. I'll tell you a story. In 2000, when he wasn't my trainer, but when I really got to know what his personality was like, and basically he was a fighter, and Chase Utley was on the team in the year 2000, and he had a problem with his feet. I mean, he was quite a hustler, but every time he would hit the ball on the ground, every step to first base was just painful. You could just see it, but it never slowed him down. He just fought through it. And we finally sent him to the training room where Tony latched onto him. And unlike other trainers that I had before, he didn't put Chase at the end of the line and said, we got these football and basketball players that we got to deal with first. He treated Chase like he would any football or basketball player. And he had an orthodontist make form-fitting inner soles for Chase's spikes so that it would be less painful for him to run. Well, it wasn't only less painful, it made him a little faster, and it didn't hurt him at all. And Chase made it through the season. At one time, I didn't think that Chase would make it through another game. It was hurting him so much. But what I saw in Tony was he wasn't afraid to fight the big guys. I'm talking about the administration. You know, they may have told the trainers to, treat football and basketball as the kingpins because they were the money earners for all the sports. But didn't matter to Tony. He took baseball players as much as he took his volleyball players or any sport, no matter what it was. He was fair, and he cared about people. That's what I said earlier. That was what comes to my mind when I think of Tony. So I'm glad we're doing this for Tony. And Tony, I pray for you and I wish you the best.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, I'm so glad you said that. This is Bill Cowdrey, and I worked in the training room with Tony.
Oh, yeah.
When he was there. Hi, Coach.
Hi.
You know, I saw that so many times in working in the same training room with him. If someone came in and they needed help, Tony was there to give them help. He loved sports, but I saw how he loved people and how anxious he was to serve others. He wasn't there just for the stars, not a bit. He was there for everybody to try to help everyone. And he gave so much of himself to the athletes. That's what I'll always remember about Tony. It's been since 1977 or something like that, since we worked together. But he fully engaged with every single person, doesn't matter whether they were tennis, baseball, track and field, football, basketball. He was fully engaged with that individual when he was treating them and doing the best he could for them. And that influenced my career.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Bill.
Well, let me just say, you know, Tony, I don't remember too much in college. You didn't think anything of the assistant trainers. You didn't even look at those guys. You know, they just had the tape for you. I respect Tony. I really respect him for the time with Coach Wood. That's what really impressed me with him. This guy who stayed with Coach for years and years and years and never asked for anything. I mean, that's a great person there. I mean, he does care about people. That's the thing. And Brian Winters, I see you. Boy, could you shoot the basketball? I hate when we had to play you. I know that because they put my little ass on you to try to guard you. And at 6'5", I couldn't do anything. So, Brian, nice to see you there too. Knock your shots down. Tony, but again, man, you know, you're a fighter. This is nothing for you. You know, God is good. Mm-hmm. You are blessed. Mm-hmm. And you have a lot of love around you. And, you know, I only have a few minutes because when you get my age, you can only focus for so long. So I got to get ready to leave the meeting. Okay. So,
okay, let me
Coach, take it on. Take it on, guys. Tony, love you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice seeing you, Henry. Nice seeing you. Nice seeing you, man.
Nice seeing you too, man. Pooh, has been a long time. Philly. All right,
no doubt, no doubt.
Peace.
All right.
Love.
All right.
And affection, they say. Okay. Well, all right, guys.
Enjoy your day
tomorrow. All right. Hey, Tony, Spine Dog. Yeah, I'd like to say I appreciate you for all you've done for us during the years. You coaching, you training and head training for the basketball team ever since I can remember. I remember you being under the tutelage of the great Ducky Drake, which you have now. You set the table. You set the tone of what a trainer is supposed to be. You've taken over that space tremendously, and not only during the times we played at UCLA, I never had a problem. Anytime I walked in that training room after I left UCLA, I don't care if it was during the pros or after I retired. I always came to the training room, and if something was wrong with me, you always attended me.
No, thank you.
And I really appreciate that. A lot of guys can go places and can't go back to school where the trainer is there looking out for them, making sure. I just want to say thank you for that, man. And best trainers in college basketball or college sports alone, because you deserve it. You deserve some kind of award, brother, named after you. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Even though you got me in trouble for curfew.
Can't be sneaking out, man. You got a big game tomorrow, you know? You got to get your rest.
I remember that night real well, Jerome. Jerome, I remember that night real well.
Hey, Coach, I know you. No, you remember that night? Then you ran me to death in practice.
Yeah, and you ate it right up too, and came back and got about 25 the next day.
I wonder if anybody on the line can
Coach, Coach, I want to thank you as well, Coach.
We had a great run, Jerome. Great run. You led the nation in 3-point shooting that year, brother. That was a great year.
Coach,
for
you did a lot. You did a lot for me, man. And I just wanted to thank you as well. Your whole family has been very nice to me. During that transition and coaching change, you know, you held me to the fire, and it made me accountable for all the things that I needed to do. And I did it, and it worked out for me, man. And my life has been great. And I want to thank you for even taking the time to look out after me. And it didn't even start when I was at UCLA playing for you my senior year. It started when you gave me a ride from the airport, from the Olympic trials, when I was at Colorado Springs.
I remember that.
I remember that. I remember that, and I want to thank you for that just as well. You always looked out for your players. That's one thing I've always said about you, Coach, man. You always looked out for your players. And a lot of now, to the discredit or the dismay of a lot of administration people, you didn't care. You looked out for your players, man, and I want to thank you for that. because you'll go beyond the call of duty for your players. I appreciate you, Coach.
All right, brother. It's great seeing you. Give me a call sometime.
Yes, sir. I will. I definitely will, Coach. And tell
right.
Jim Jr. I said hello.
All right, I will, Jerome.
Please
Great
do.
to see you, man.
All right.
Thanks for coming on, Pooh.
Spine dog, man. Hang in there, man. I'll talk to you.
Okay. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Coming on.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
All right.
You know, Coach Harrick,
Yes.
I used to make them bed checks every night, but I want to tell you what, no one really believed in it until we went to Boise. And I went off to church that morning, and I came back for breakfast after I got them all up. And you said, "Where the hell were you last night?" And I went, "I was here. What happened?" Well, you remember what happened there. Almost cost us a chance to go to the Final Four. Then you found out how important bed check was.
Yep. We watched him.
I wonder if anybody on the line can confirm a story that I heard that Bill Walton missed bed check one night, and he came in late, and Ducky was pretending to be asleep in his bed.
Well, that's where I learned it.
I heard that.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, that's where I learned it from.
What I heard was Bill looked around the room and scratched his head, and Ducky had one eye just slightly open so he could see what Bill was doing. And Bill just went into the closet, got the extra pillow, put it on the floor, and laid down on the floor. Next morning, Ducky crawled over him and said, "Morning, Bill." Bill said, "Morning, Mr. Drake," and and Ducky never told Coach Wooden about the story.
Wow. Wow.
Mike Sciosia, do you have any stories about Tony and
we have Mike Sciosia of the Angels on right now.
You know, guys, I had my share of bed checks. I played for a guy named Tommy Lasorda for 13 seasons. So we had our share of bed checks. Trust me on that one. And Tony knows what I'm talking about. But I was fortunate enough to meet so many special people in 40 plus years in professional baseball in the major leagues. And I can tell you, Tony, what you've meant to myself, our family, the inspiration, just the example you've set is such a high bar that we strive to live for it every day. We miss seeing you down at St. Max, down at church. What you did for Coach Wooden was incredible. And although I only got to meet Coach Wooden maybe a dozen times in the course of my life, you facilitated that. The inspiration that he was one thing, but your devotion to him and the standards you set for how Coach could go around and still spread his message of love and competition and how to compete was very, very special to me. And it's one of the gems that I take with me every day. So I know right now you hit a bump in the road. You hit a bump in the road, no doubt about it. But you got a little East Coast in you too. And I'm from Philly, so we know how tough we are. East of the Mississippi is tough. You got some toughness in you, and I want you to feel the love and feel all of us supporting you every day. I can't tell you how many candles I've lit down the street for you. I'm wearing a fire hazard here, so I got to be careful. But I'm lighting those candles every day for you. And
thank you.
I want to see you back there, and God bless you, and just keep going.
Okay, Coach, it's great for you to come on. And I always was appreciative, and so was Coach for you and the Angels having us so many times there. But I always tell the story was I had Coach there at one of the games, and you went into your team meeting with the coaches. And you asked me if it would be all right if Coach could go in. And I said, sure. And so I just stayed out there with Ned and the guys, I hung out, and you went into your coach's meeting, and you came out of the meeting after about 45 minutes or an hour, and you looked at me and you said, he gave me a one-word answer. It would have taken 10 seconds. He says, and he goes, "Can you bring him every game?" And I said, "I would love to come to every game." So I tell people, I don't know if you remember that or not. But
I do. We were getting ready for a big series. In fact, it was against the Yankees, and he had gone over and he had said hi, to Derek Jeter and Joe Torre. And
right.
I was a little chopped with that because I wanted him to be more hometown with us, which he eventually was. But anyway, he comes in and we got a scouting book on the Yankees, you know, that we're going over as a staff. Usually took us about an hour, and it's like an inch thick, and we're going through it just to see what their tendencies are. That's what we do before every game, before every series. So we're about to go to our scouting meeting to do this for an hour. And then I know coach comes in. And so I asked you, I said, can Coach come into our meeting? And Tony, I swear, we did not open that book for 45 minutes. We didn't even open that book for that whole meeting. We sat there and listened to Coach, listened to his stories, and we were so invigorated from his common sense. You know, he could get through. He's like that we call him old salty, where they've got that innate common sense where they can cut through all the peripheral stuff and get to the core of issues. He was so beautiful, gave us such a lift, such an inspiration. We never opened that scouting book, and we went out and swept the Yankees, which felt doubly good for me because even though I love Corey, I
hate the Yankees.
I was a little chapped. We went and saw them first, then came to us, so that felt good.
Yeah, I always tell the story that you came out there and told me that, and I was just amazed. So I share that all the time. But I miss seeing you and the family at church. I hope I can get back there soon. I had a big doctor's appointment this morning. I've had a tough week. I fell a couple times this week. They said there's no cure for what I got. It's just going to take 6 months to a year, and I may never be 100%, but I could be in the 90 percentile. So
you're going to be falling down is an opportunity to get up, and you keep showing people that what you're made of. And just as a side note, our son Matthew had Guillain-Barré syndrome when he was 5 years old.
Oh, is that right?
And he went on to start Crespi, start Notre Dame, play professional baseball. So you've got a lot in your future. You will get by. You will get through this, and you will be the Tony Spino we know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Tony, Dr. Feinerman, when I had chemotherapy lead to dead bone in both legs, said I wouldn't walk again without surgery that had never been done before to put in cadaver bone and knee replacements. Well, 28 days after that, I had an amazing thing. I had a miracle happen, and I went water skiing. Dr. Feinerman said that can't possibly happen, and I sent the pictures. So God knows what's in your future, nobody else. And I know your spirit, I know your will. I think what Coach Sciosia said is absolutely right.
I agree. He's going to be okay. He's tough. My brother's tough, and he can get through anything. So I'm sure you're right on that.
I had to replace Tony for a few months when he had gallbladder problems. He lost a lot of weight. I forgot how much weight you lost, Tony, but it was like 35 pounds.
45. Yeah.
40 pounds. Okay.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And so I was trainer for the Bucks for about 2 months or so for Tony. And Brian Winters can tell you, I didn't do the job that Tony did. The players were all complaining about how I taped ankles. And I had to manage, you not only have to make all the flight arrangements, but you also have to get the practice courts arranged. You have to call for the buses. So, I remember pulling into the Superdome and they had the scoreboard down and Coach Costello lost his mind, like, where's practice? I thought you called ahead and made practice. I said I did. So I go to these guys and they lift the scoreboard off the floor and the court's underneath the scoreboard. And they push up a couple of baskets and roll out the basketballs and there's practice. And I got out of trouble. But I found out how much work Tony had to do and how tough it is to coach pros that are very fussy about how they're taped and all that kind of stuff. And those were big shoes to fill. But Tony, you got through that gallbladder stuff and came back for the All-Star game. So you can get through this one, man.